It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great. Like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
And my name is Michael.
It is. If he's in trouble, we call him that. So pretty frequently. But this weekend, right now, New York Comic Con is going on, and we got a leaked X-Men 97 trailer, amongst other things. But I thought that was the coolest thing so far to come out of it. To Mike's delight, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are returning to theaters.
Absolute delight. I was overjoyed.
Yeah.
Which is why the Turtles are the YouTube thumbnail this week. I don't care what Comic-Con is going on. It's going to be the Turtles if we have turtle news.
It is that's a decade-old joke coming back to haunt us whenever the Michael Bay Turtles were going on. Mortal Kombat 3 gets confirmed already. They haven't even released a second one, but they're moving on with another movie and more on this week's episode.
Literally everything that's come out from the Turtles since we've been doing this show has just been great. I mean, maybe when we started this show, were they at the tail end of that CG series that was really popular? I never watched it. Well, but I think that was pretty popular when that was kind of like the last.
It had two seasons on
Nickelodeon,
but it's I think it just ended recently, but it took years in between it. As well, and I'm trying to think. What was was the Michael Bay Out of the Shadows? Is that the second one?
I think so, because I love the Michael Bay stuff, obviously, because I'm a weirdo. I loved Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. That frenetic animation was like so great. We've had Turtles games. We've had nothing but rumors for a Last Ronin movie. It's not even rumors. They are working on it. We do know that much, but we've not heard or seen anything, I guess, in terms of that. But so all things Turtles are great right now. But Chris, I do have to say, this is now our 544th episode of the podcast. Is this technically our first live show that we're doing right now, because you have a friend hanging out on the periphery of your recording equipment right now, hearing half of the conversation?
I don't know if that's the first or not, but it's the first I will at least acknowledge that I remember. So my friend Patrick is over on the other side of the room. He's playing Hades 2 on his Steam Deck right now.
Okay.
So he's entertaining himself. We've been playing board games all weekend. Lots of them, pretty much from the time he arrived yesterday afternoon through literally we stopped in the middle of a turn so he could come over here and record. So we're having a good time with that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, he's over there. But like, I told him he's like, before I was like, we're gonna record, but like you're gonna have to listen to like my side of it, like not both sides of it, which is would be pretty jarring, I think, for anyone else. But
he's lacking all of my witty banter and insight for all of this. So
he did say he agreed. He agreed with you about like two things last week. So if that makes you feel any better, he does listen to us on the radio.
There you go. You know what? And I know I said a lot more than two things.
Yeah,
so
you get two.
Not a great batting average, but a win's a win.
Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. But you have been playing video games as well. This week, we talked about I think the last 3 weeks we brought it up, and you're like, I forgot about it. I preloaded it, but I didn't play it. But now you finally got to play it. Is that my understanding?
I'm back in my feudal era of Japan, playing Ghost of Yotei, and it's great. I love it. It's been a minute since I've played Ghosts of Tsushima, and that was on the PlayStation 4. And I think they had like a PS5 like version of it, but I never got around to playing it. And it just goes to show you kind of how imperfect a memory is, because I was like, oh man, this is going to be the first kind of like Ghost game that I play on like a next gen console. And I load it in and I'm just like, I feel like I'm having like just as much of a positive visual experience playing it now when I played the previous game. So it just goes to show you, like, as time goes on, like, your brain just cannot recall like graphics and fidelity And you know, it's really just remembering like the gameplay and the story and like the fun adventure you had. It doesn't like really matter how many polygons were on there. But one great improvement next gen wise is fast travel is so fast.
Well,
sometimes it's almost instantaneous. Like I'll move my cursor on the map, I'll hit triangle, and then like there's no like loading screen, you know, that shows me like a tip of what should I do if somebody does a strong attack against me with like some art that pans left to right. No, it's just like I'm there. I'm back at this like my home base already.
Was it last week we talked about, I think I brought up with you, I know I told people work, but like the only demo of this game I'd seen was someone doing a cold boot from starting PlayStation Fresh, no game loaded, to being in the game was like 7 seconds. Like it, like going from a cold boot to being in game is under 10 seconds, wholeheartedly. So
It's funny that you bring it up because I did turn my PlayStation on to play another round of it, and it had reverted back to the start screen. Usually, I just kind of like pause the game and put my PlayStation in sleep mode. But it had reverted back to the start screen. I was like, oh, I have to boot this thing back up again. And I'm used to it taking forever when I was playing Fallout 4. And I was like, oh, man, I'm just like in the game. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Ghosts of Tsushima, you're just getting that and more, which is great. I can't complain at all. And you don't...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and if you just want to jump in here, it's totally new character, totally different region of Japan. You know, just like every video game, they put training wheels on you at the very beginning and teach you how to play. So if you haven't played any of them before, I would just jump on in. They're super fun.
It really reminds me of Spider-Man and then the Miles Morales edition, like where they were like, we took the map, we made it faster, you can fast travel quicker. We're doing everything at like super, like we did the first game really well. We're going to do the second game even better because we have all that knowledge and optimization we're going to apply to it. So that sounds really fun.
And this game is great at holding up to what some of the developers said in the trailers and the sneak peeks for this game coming out, whereas like they wanted the player to really be open to exploration, to where obviously they give you map pins of like how to progress your story, but they really just want you to like look at the landscape, like pull out your little seeing eyeglass and just what looks interesting on the horizon. You know, is there smoke rising up and there's a camp over there, or is there like a weird tree off on the horizon? They just want you to go look at it. Like, don't worry about like, you know, be so prescriptive of what you have to do. And it's so much fun because you'll just be like, oh, this is such a beautiful like scenery of Japan, and then you're just like, oh, why is that one tree like full of just like white blossoms and all the other ones aren't? Then you head on over there and you start this little mission. So yeah, it's great. I'm loving Ghost of Yotei. I take my time with this type of game though, so I'm probably going to be playing this game for like the next like 4 or 5 months.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what you want. I mean, like a game that's going to, you know, take some time, you know, to beat, to do that. So that's awesome. I never played them. I think, you know, for me, like I said, we talked about Marvel Cosmic Invasions coming up for me, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I'm also getting actually New York Comic-Con leaked videos as we sit here, so I'm a little distracted by some of this other stuff. But yeah, anything else about that you want to just jump into?
Let's jump into it. It was a big con weekend,
yes,
which I forgot about until I started to see the news drop.
Yeah, so I was like, man, there's something coming up. It feels something in the air was a little different. I'm like, oh, so we knew New York Comic Con was going to be like not when or how big it was going to be, and there's still stuff coming out. There's not anything we've covered. Yeah, I don't think I'll be honest. I think DC did not have a presence there, at least DC Studios, with the ending of Peacemaker this week for season 2, which I assume you watched because Mike asked me if I'm caught up, and I said there's no way in hell I'm caught up in this. It would take me forever.
I am caught up on Peacemaker.
Okay, so I know that they weren't really there, so there's no DC news. We got a lot of Marvel animation, Marvel Television brought their big guns out, so we'll talk about that. Some other small announcements that came up this week that they were probably trying to push at New York Comic Con through the news. So we'll talk about all of it here. But like first and foremost, one of the leaked trailers we currently have up in the show note links is for X-Men 97. So the audience are going to see the a full minute and a half, I think, trailer for X-Men 97 season 2, and really it's leaning into their X-Men in the past, their X-Men in the future. And I think his Bishop is trying to bring them all back to the 90s. And
it was a great line. Is, we got to get these X-Men back to the 90s.
Yeah.
It's
It's because it is, again, it's Bishop, and like they know what they're doing with this show, right? Like season 1 was great. Season 2 looks to be even more fun. Apocalypse looks like to be maybe the big bad of this, as he's, we see the younger version in the past, the older version in the future. We go see Xavier, Jean Grey, Cyclops. Wolverine looks to have his claws back, his metal back at some point. We get to see. I saw Lady Deathstrike talk about laser discs at the end of this. So
that was just for you.
I felt seen. But overall, like, there's not a lot to pull out of this except for like the cool action, the animation. There's one scene where it looks like Jean Grey takes like Wolverine's claws and like breaks up Cyclops' beam in the multiple directions, like she's reflecting it. I'm excited for this to return. It's been a long time since season 2. I think it was last calendar year, 24 maybe. If not before that. I want to see some more, Mike. I mean, this got me hyped. What do you think?
Well, they have this great opportunity where they had text on screen that said like past, present, future. So they had this amazing opportunity to go 30 years in the future and just show our current world in that animation style, which I think would be really, really funny. You don't really get that opportunity a lot in storytelling when you like revive something from the 90s, right? And you go into the future. So I would love to see them do that. It'll be like obviously an alternate take, but it would be funny for like Logan to see somebody like with a smartphone or just like won't put their head up from like an iPad and just like claws go through the iPad or something. Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. So they did confirm this is a summer 2026 release, so we're going to see this next summer, and they did say season 3 is officially in the works, so we're not going to have to wait long. Another calendar year, probably summer 2027 for X-Men 97 season 3. Which we didn't know if they're like, maybe they still have time to change the name. Maybe it'll be X-Men 98 or whatever. But I think they're going to stick to the season titles. One thing I did notice in this when they were kind of going through the trailer there was just like I said, they've got the focus on Apocalypse, and they started the thing with like the trailer started with like previously on X-Men, and they did the tube television, so like they're leaning into that tube TV VHS vibe still in the marketing and showing stuff from the 90s when I think Apocalypse was in there a little bit as well. So. This is fun. I'm excited. It's got me hyped for it. Wish it was next summer already, but we'll take what we can get in the meantime. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the other show, which honestly, this is one of those shows where I feel like it's like Andor to us, Mike, where we're like, nobody wants to watch this. They're never going to make it. They've changed the name too many times. It's going to be awful when it lands. First season's not too bad. Kind of a fun little jaunt. They did say that next season will be fall 2026 release. So about a year from now, they have Charlie Cox returning as Daredevil, and he'll be in his red suit instead of the black one. So they're going full red. Spider-Gwen, Dr. Octopus, Scorpion, Chameleon, and Venom will appear in season 2. And I think they gave us a tease of Venom there at the end of season 1. So
yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious how they do Spider-Gwen in this universe, because it kind of feels like a pretty traditional Spider-Man universe, right? We haven't really gotten any sort of like ultimate influence as far as I can tell.
Well, Spider-Gwen,
like everything feels.
Well, Spider-Gwen's not ultimate.
Grounded.
Spider-Gwen was her own thing outside of the Ultimate Universe. She wasn't part of the Ultimate Universe. If that's what you're implying, not saying that you are.
Well, I mean more as like she's kind of like a unique creation through like unique scenarios.
Without Peter,
but it's fun that
Ben,
yeah, but it's fun that they're going to find a way to add her in.
Yeah,
because in order to add her to Spider-Verse in the movie films, they had to have interdimensional travel. So it seems like this Spider-Gwen will like rise up on her own, apropos of maybe no shenanigans.
Yeah, and honestly, the whole thing is an alternate universe anyway. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. But they've not really set up a Spider-Gwen in the MCU proper, which is like I guess the core of where they're pulling most of this from originally. So. Overall, I'm excited. It's like I think they might have shown some footage, but I don't have it leaked yet for that. But yeah, fall 2026 for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's for the animation side of Marvel. Let's get into the live action. Daredevil, Born Again. Season 2 will premiere March 2026, Mike. Boom. Roasted. They also showed a teaser to the audience, and Krysten Ritter filmed it and put it on Twitter. And so now we have that to look at here in our show notes. That's literally what I was grabbing while you were talking about Ghost of Yotei. So,
is she allowed to do this? Did anyone tell her?
I don't know. I had to mute it. It was kind of loud. But you get to see her, punching, fighting people. Looks like it's going to be, she might even fight Daredevil at some point.
I was going to say, of course, the clip that she puts up is when she walks in the door and everyone cheers.
Yeah, so...
she did... I think she even does the classic Jessica Jones. About 16 minutes in, I think she rips a door off, which is what she did every other episode on Netflix of her series. Always ripping doors off.
And it looks like it's in a small hallway, too, so that makes make sure it's in Daredevil if she's ripping doors off. So, obviously, pretty fun. We know she's coming back. That's been confirmed. Possibly rumors of Luke Cage showing up. Punisher might even appear in this. But speaking of Brad Winderbaum, is he president, VP of Marvel Animation? I don't know how that works out. He's had Marvel Television. He's revealed that he's in constant contact with the Spider-Man Brand New Day team to ensure coherence between the two projects. So sounds like it might be a little more connected than we initially thought, which is good.
Yeah, well, did we talk about it last week on the show, or was I just reading this through all my feeds all week, and I just think I got it from our show, where Daredevil's heavily implied to be in a Brand New Day?
We did talk about it. We did talk about the schedule. Yeah,
something got changed.
Yeah, there's a rumor with Charlie Cox doing a filming in London. He's from there, so it's fine. And he couldn't go to a Comic-Con. Something else, I think it was Brad Winderbaum was saying this week that different than this is that these shows, like, they all exist in the same New York. Like, Daredevil may not punch up into the MCU, but is still like trying to make that cohesion of Daredevil season 2 mostly and Spider-Man together. But he did say that season 2 is like one story, one team, rather unlike season 1, which was kind of, I wouldn't say butchered, but like, it was retooled and they refilmed some stuff and gave us some bookends. So they say season 2 is more cohesive.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about Wonder Man here in a moment, but I think like Wonder Man and Daredevil season 1 might be the last vestige of stuff from the Chapek era. Now, I'm not saying the stuff started shooting when like Chapek's like boots were on the ground, but like I think kind of like pre-production and like decisions had started to be made under his employ. So I think once we get to Daredevil season 2, I'm glad to hear that they're kind of drawing a line in the sand and going maybe down a different path, because I still think about that ending of season 1, and I'm just like, man, I was having such a good time until that ending just kind of like fell flat. So hopefully season 2 will be a little bit more peppy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back to see when did they announce. So Wonder Man, I don't know when that was announced. So I think that might be post, but we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But yeah, anyway, you can check out the teaser while it's still live in our show notes. The link may get taken down, how they are. But like, Daredevil Born Again is not our next live action Marvel property, so we won't get any marking there, but it is coming up within 6 months. So we will be checking that out next spring. Moving on to an announcement, a lot more information actually. VisionQuest, officially titled VisionQuest from Marvel. Like, no longer Vision series. It is VisionQuest. It had even a little unique looking logo. It's tied to the white Vision. We'll see how long that lasts. But they did confirm that this concludes the trilogy that started with WandaVision. So WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and VisionQuest are all tied together as a trilogy, which is really cool. They also confirmed that this will feature the debut of Tommy Maximoff, the other son from WandaVision. We have Billy Maximoff and Agatha All Along. Tommy will appear in this one. How and in what capacity, we don't know.
I think they even showed the casting. I don't know if it was officially
they announced
confirmed or not.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, Mike.
I looked at him too, and I was like, I don't know who this is. So I was like, okay, well, we don't need to put this. We don't need to put this in the thumbnail, so I won't worry about it. Right
I put his name in there next to the thing. I could not pronounce that first name to save my life. It's like Irish, so. But they confirm he'll be in there, so that means we'll be getting I guess live action versions of the manifestations of these children in the MCU, probably leading up to maybe Doomsday, right, or Secret Wars post that.
I gotta assume, Wanda she has to be talked about. There's no way that they don't talk about Wanda in VisionQuest, but I don't know if it's like a post-credit scene in the last episode.
I don't even
I don't know if
they'll do that, because he'll have to figure out what the son is. Like, he's got to figure out, how did my son go from being a fake thing that all he knows is that the kids were fake, right? Whenever White Vision left, so like he doesn't know that there's even Billy out there right now. So
yeah, but Vision's he's got that mental acuity, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't need all the backstory, and I think there was like a synopsis out there for VisionQuest or something, or somebody was interviewed where like this version of Vision will have all of his memories that normal Vision had, but he doesn't have the emotional connection to them. So it sounds like it's going to be kind of like Vision / like Paul Bettany's like quest to find his like emotional core,
possibly,
or whatever.
Well, and let's talk about the next part here. They did confirm, and we've talked about this for several months now, that Ultron, Friday, Edith, Jarvis, played by James Darcy, who played them in Agent Carter, and even the robot Dummy will appear in human form. So all of these AI / robotic constructs that have spun out of Tony Stark's mind, including Vision and Ultron and all these other ones, will have human form. So I'm very curious how they're going to use these as a connection point for him, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know the actor's name or the character's name, but in Iron Man 1, there is the guy who kidnapped Iron Man and made him build the missile, and he got his he was paralyzed by Obadiah Stane with the thing at the end. Mm-hmm. He will also be returning after 20 years, almost 20 years to the show as well, and it's coming in 2026. So I'm excited. I wish, if any of the trailers had anything with trailers, I wish it had this one. I would love to watch this one over anything else leaked out of this, but it sounds like we will get this 2026 before Doomsday. So will this tie into Doomsday? Will they pull the kids into Secret Wars like that concept art we saw leaked earlier this year? I don't know. Pretty excited. Very excited to wrap this up, though. We've only heard good things in the reports and rumors since it's been in production. Wonder Man, the other, I guess, another project from Destin Daniel Cretton, who is now working on Spider-Man Brand New Day, had its first trailer released, and this is like the most meta show I've ever, like, even more than She-Hulk. Like, it starts off where this old artistic director or whatever is coming out of retirement to do a remake of Wonder Man, which was like a 1960s sci-fi show that looks like the old Star Trek, right? Original Star Trek, but colored. And they're going to be casting, and they're talking about superhero fatigue in Hollywood, all this other stuff. It looks different, looks fun. I got nothing to take out. I'm not getting Wonder Man the superhero vibes out of this, so I'm interested how that comes into play. But this is interesting.
I mean, this is absolute catnip for me. I mean, This is like my genre of television, of shows about making Hollywood. They have some stiff competition because Seth Rogen's The Studio on Apple Plus just like swept the Emmys, earlier this year, and it's such a strong show, and it has a lot of opinions and takes on Hollywood. And coming from somebody who directly has like lived that experience, so Wonder Man is kind of going to be maybe slightly light on that, maybe leaning more into the MCU. But like, yeah, I loved everything about it. Like just him trying to figure out how he wants to like do his lines. Trevor Slattery in there, the funny bit of like, oh, I think he used to be a terrorist. Like very, very funny stuff. He does say, and I don't know if this is official in any sort of announcement, but he does say he was born to play this role. So is that him kind of saying that he actually has super powered abilities? You know, is that why he should be cast, because he feels like he's that character?
They also show him watching it with his dad, like when he was younger, the original show. I don't know if it was in this or the teaser, but like he's like on a couch or in the theater with his dad as a young child watching the original Wonder Man. I don't think it maybe. I think you're maybe reading a little too far into it, but we'll see. I don't know much about the show. Like I'm actually intrigued if there will be powered people in this, or if it's more of a, hey, we're making a show about someone who we thought was a superhero before.
Yeah, I think it was moved to January. I don't know if it was ever officially dated.
It was
for 2025.
It said winter 2025, which falls under, I guess, January still.
I think they're making a good strategic move of getting out of the way of Stranger Things. I mean, we saw the run times for those episodes.
We'll talk about that. We got that later.
Talk about a little bit.
Well,
but yeah, you want to get the hell out of the way of Stranger Things.
I also didn't expect this to be 8 episodes. If I'm going to be completely transparent, I thought it would be a 6-episode series.
Yeah, that is pretty beefy.
So it's all 8 episodes dropping January 27th.
Oh my God. That's so depressing. Saying 8 episodes is beefy.
Yeah.
We just finished binging the first season of CSI, and it's like 23 40-minute episodes. Like that's where we used to be.
Oh yeah. Well,
now we're just like 8 episodes that are probably going to be like 28 minutes long. It's so funny.
And I'm pretty sure that these are short episodes too. Like this is not the 45-minute ones. These are going to be like the 20 to 30s. So Wonder Man, obviously, you can check out the trailer here. There's probably a lot more promotion over the coming weeks because nothing else is on. As far as I know, nothing else is on Disney Plus, right? For Marvel until this show. So they're gonna be pulling back, and we're gonna be getting a little more after next year, a little more sparse on these productions. The only thing we didn't get, surprisingly, no update on the Punisher special presentation out of Marvel. I was really hoping we'd get to see something since they got done filming that before they started filming Spider-Man, but maybe they're saving that for next year to give us something in between. Also at New York Comic-Con, sorry about that, they brought a new poster for Mortal Kombat 2 showing off all the combatants' weapons, kind of forming the 2 and the dragon there. So we get the big hammer, the hat with the blade, the different, Johnny Cage's sunglasses, the staff, stuff like that. So, the weapons are always been a fun part of playing the games. But the biggest thing was that they were like, yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 is coming out as well. Probably the same producer. They didn't announce anything about it, but they feel very confident in this franchise kind of going forward to go ahead and put a stake in the ground for the third movie going forward.
I mean, that's pretty ballsy considering they don't have any box office performance for the first movie, right? That was just streaming only. I mean, I'm sure they have lots of data, which actually maybe that is really helpful. Maybe having all of that streaming data tells them, that they can get butts in seats. But I could easily see that numeral 3 going to dust, if this doesn't perform well.
The first one had theater. It was a simultaneous release. I guarantee you more people watched it on streaming than theaters, but it was one of the simultaneous releases in 2021. And it doesn't feel like it's been forever. It'll be 5 years in between these movies, and it doesn't feel like that. But honestly, the Mortal Kombat games are huge. Warner Brothers, I think they have a stake in NetherRealm to begin with, so they own this whole process through and through. Like I said, what's the one thing I want out of a Mortal Kombat movie, Mike? If you know anything about me, what do I want out of this movie?
You want the tournament.
I want a goddamn tournament, and that's why the first one's the best one, despite how campy it is, because they actually had a tournament. So, but if you got Carl Urban, I mean, you might as well ride that wave out for a little bit, right? They got some big names in here. So, hopefully we'll get a trailer maybe this winter for the May 15th release. It was delayed out of this fall to be a summer tentpole movie. So, we'll see how that goes. Invincible season 4 has been announced and will be releasing March of next year. We got a little video to watch it here with the Invincible and Adam Eve coming back to the Burger Mart, or at least what's left of it, to talk about the upcoming season.
Yeah, this show is always crazy to me because it's this animated universe where they'll do anything. And I know I'm constantly trying to figure out like who gets credit. You know, does it the comic book or is it the show? But I can only come at it from the point of the television show. But like everything's on the table. Like at any point in the show, like a Viltrumite shows up and just like decimates an entire city, like the size of Chicago. And you're just like, oh wow, that just happened. And it affects like real humans in real ways. They'll take their time to do like an entire like 10-minute cold open, like just following a normal human and what happens when the entire city crumbles around them. So I always forget, like every time this show comes back, I never watch it when it first comes out. Like it takes me like 6 weeks to remember a new season of Invincible is out there. I watch it and then I come on the show and go, Chris, why do I keep forgetting that this is like the best superhero TV show out there at the moment? So maybe I'll remember this time around and I'll watch it when it's airing.
They seem to be pretty regular releasing. I think, we talked about the first season coming out and there was like a big delay in season 2. I think maybe came in 2 parts. But they got season 3 came out earlier this year, 4 next spring. They also brought out Lee Pace from Guardians of the Galaxy as will voice General Thrag, which is the main villain in the comic books that we've not come up against yet. So we know that he's coming as a Viltrumite general, Mike, as you.
Chris, this is how crazy this show is. Is I'm watching this clip and Invincible has like these robot arms, and now I'm trying to go. Did he get his arms ripped off in the last season? I can't remember. I know he got his like ass handed to him, but I don't remember if his arms were like literally ripped off or not. But like that's the type of show that it is. Like you could come back. And in the next season, it's just like, oh yeah, somebody just got. Oh, I think he's even got like a robot leg too. Maybe these are like healing implements.
I don't think. I think they're
grow limbs back or not.
I don't. I think they're just covers. Like, aren't they like trying? Like maybe. I don't know if he has prosthetics or not.
His left arm is only partially covered. His right arm is fully covered. I feel like maybe there's some sort of like incubation, like it'll help him heal faster, or like it's like a super powered cast or something. But anyway, go watch Invincible. I'm so envious if somebody's listening and they haven't watched any of this at all, because you can just sit down and just like binge watch like just some great TV right now.
I've only seen the first episode of the whole show.
Oh, Chris!
But I've read the book, so like to me, it's a little harder for me because I'm like, I know what's going to happen. So it's not that I'm against it.
The voice cast is so premium, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you got freaking Ronan the Accuser. Coming in for the next season.
Yeah, so he's voicing a big character. Like, they never skimp out on the characters. We did talk about this in Marvel Zombies, the guy who does the voice acting for Blade, who replaced also Mahershala Ali on the show as well. So he had got that experience there. But yeah, so Invincible season 4 announcement show. It's like a 4-minute little video clip you can watch in our show notes. Have you watched the Minecraft movie yet?
No.
Okay. Well, again, one of those movies sitting like 49% Rotten Tomatoes, but made billions of dollars because the general public and children enjoy it. But a sequel has been announced for a release date of July 23rd, 2027. You can check out their little Minecraft pickaxes, 2 of them, to indicate the second one is coming. This
is is the Mario. I always team this movie up with the Mario movie in my head of just like not good video game movies that make a ton of money. Is the next Mario movie next year, or is it also 2027?
That is a great question. I'm looking it up right now. 2026 next year is the movie.
So the way these release dates are lining up is there's going to be a video game cash grab at the box office every summer, it looks like.
I disagree. I had a good time with Mario. I don't think it's a bad time. But the next one is Mario Galaxy, so I'm interested to see where that goes. I know we saw a little trailer a couple weeks ago. But Galaxy is coming. This also is up against... This is the same date that Marvel just removed and was replaced with The Simpsons 2. So will we have a Simscraft kind of movie header? I don't know. One of those deals. Like, will the Simpsons move? I don't think will Minecraft move. Will they both stay? Because it doesn't matter, and people are going to go watch both. Mm-hmm. Well, people go watch Minecraft. I don't think kids are going to see the Simpsons. That one's going to be a harder sell. But yeah, it just goes to show that they you make enough money, you can do this. The video game movie sequel I want the most, Mike, Detective Pikachu. We need to go back to Detective Pikachu World.
I need to rewatch that. I've only seen it once, but I remember being delighted.
Yeah, Justice Smith does a great job. Ryan Reynolds, just huge wins all around. I'm sad we haven't.
Let's go back to Rhyme City, folks.
That's right.
It should be an accomplishment that I even remember the name of that city.
Yeah,
but I remember it. I should go back.
Mike, the non-active Pokemon player, remembering this is very impressive. But it's a great time. Honestly, that's like, there's so much money to be had in Pokemon. Everyone liked it. I've never heard a bad thing about it. So I would like to go back there faster than I like to go back to Minecraft. But obviously, they want to go that way. That's fine. And Mike's, we talked about this at the top of the show. Mike's so excited for this. So excited. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chrome Alone 2 Lost in New Jersey short has been revealed by Paramount and will be in front of the SpongeBob movie in theaters next month, and then probably home by Christmas time. Will probably be on YouTube.
I'm so excited. Like the logo and like a still frame were released like maybe the morning before the trailer dropped, or maybe the day before. And I was just like, oh, hell yeah. Luckily, I read pretty quickly that this was going to be a short. Mm-hmm. So I'm just happy that it's like still in active development, because I feel like it didn't make a huge splash when Mutant Mayhem came out. Critically, everybody loved it. You know, I loved it. I talk about it with anybody that wants to hear about Mutant Mayhem. So it was just like, oh, come on, Paramount. Please make me more. I think they have a second season of the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that's hitting, I don't know, their streaming service, landlines, broadcast. I don't know where it is.
It made on a budget of $70 million, it made $180 million at the box office, and I guarantee you, even more toys were sold. I guarantee you, even more toys. Yes.
And speaking of toys, this is hilarious. They're shopping for Splinter. Somebody holds up this really hilariously molded mug. It's just nightmarish, and they all make fun of him. There's a ChatGPT.
ChatGPT was interesting. That was wild to hear that come out of a turtle's mouth.
Yeah, and it reminded me of just like, I feel like the development team has made a decision with these turtles of just like, we don't care how these movies age. We want them to feel modern and in the theater when the kids go and watch it. You know, we're going to do our best to make it feel current, even though, like, we don't even know if ChatGPT is going to be, like, the name for these platforms or whatever in 10, 15 years. You know, it's like going back and watching a movie and somebody, like, says MySpace. It's just like, I kind of like that they're just like, no, let's just tell the funniest joke that we can now, so people like
go
it.
back. I just watched Turtles 3, Mike. You want to know what movie doesn't age well? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Turtles.
Was that
where
the
the
one where
they
go to Japan?
Yeah, they get sent back in time, and like all the samurai are like with Casey Jones, and they're just like playing like, you know, like 90s skateboard and like, you know. I think the song Tequila that's the one where that's in quite a bit. So like, it's none of these Turtles movies stand the test of time. They are in the moment, you know, for that. But that's fine, because this was the Turtles. The voice actors sound just as good. They sound awesome, and then it leads into, because the world knows about the Turtles, the Radical Reptile parody toys, where they look god awful. These are the Chinese knockoffs. These are the Temu turtles, if you will. And it is so funny how much they parody them. And then they're so mad, they're like, well, we got to go to New Jersey to fix this. But you sent me this. They're actually selling these toys. They will be selling the Radical Reptiles in stores that are just so awful to look at.
Yeah, it's so funny. I just love that they're leaning into it. They sell them in like in like dual packs. So if you want to get Mikey and Mark in the same toy at the same time, you can. And everything about it. I love everything within this Mutant Mayhem universe. They just do a great job, and I'm so as somebody on Great British Bake Off would say, I'm just positively chuffed.
You're chuffed. He's chuffed over here.
Teaser trailer.
Yeah.
I'm chuffed out of control over here.
Yeah. Speaking of, I have Xbox Game Pass, and one of the free games is actually a game based on the Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. And it's like a side scroller arcadey style kind of game, but like not the good Turtles game. It's like, it's not that fun, but it's not that bad. And like every time you come up to like a boss battle, it's like one of the Mutant Mayhem bosses they didn't put in the movie. And it's really fun. Like, I just love the design and the humor with everything in what they're currently doing with this. And I'm very, very excited for the real movie to come out, but even more so the fact they're doing even more shows, because Turtles can exist in shorts like this. I think, the villain's probably Chrome Dome. That'd probably be the villain, right? Because like they said from the Chrome company. So we're gonna see their version of Chrome Dome here in a little bit of a spin-off, I guess, in this one shot, if you will. So very excited. I've got a link to that trailer. That was actually a longer teaser than I expected, if I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I know it's only like a minute 14, but it feels longer.
Now I'm just excited, trying to figure out how long the short's going to be. I watched one singular Digimon TikTok like 4 days ago, and now the algorithm thinks I need all of the Digimon like hot takes and analysis in my feed.
No. Well, you're at an interesting time, because a new Digimon game just came out and it's getting good reviews. Like there are a lot of people putting content out, so it's not just you.
Yeah, and I did learn about the video game due to the algorithm.
Yeah.
But somebody was talking about the Digimon movie that they cobbled together to compete with the Pokemon movie, how the Pokemon movie had a short in front of it. So now like my whole brain is just attuned to like shorts in front of movies.
Animated movies, shorts in front of animated. But you get a pre-movie before your regular movie. Well, I mean, exactly. Pixar's been doing that for how long though? Like when you go watch a Pixar movie, you always get a short in front of it.
There's another. I think Zootopia is not having one. I just saw a headline.
But that's not,
something is not having a short in front of it coming up that normally would.
Zootopia is.
So maybe it's not Zootopia. Maybe it's something else.
Zootopia is not Pixar.
Something's not having a short, but just a heads up.
Yeah. What is the next Pixar? What is that next Pixar movie? Elio just came out.
Is it Toy Story?
No. Planes, Fire, and Rescue.
Oh, the Beaver one. Is it the Beaver
Hoppers. one? Hoppers. It's the rabbit one, like where they can become like it's a beaver, but like they become the creatures through that. That is coming up in March, and then you get Toy Story next year. I think Gato, Incredibles 3, Coco 2. Good Lord, they're out of here. These are all out of control, if you will. But speaking of animated films, before we get to the next thing, you know what I watched this week? K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, finally, Chris. How is this not at the top of the show?
Because I didn't care for it.
What did you think?
I didn't care for it.
Oh my God, Chris! No, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight on the show.
We're not gonna fight on the show. They want me to care about these characters, and they try to tell you their background instead of show you their background. And I just didn't care about them. Songs are catchy. I mean, the songs are in Fortnite.
Okay,
and the music is not bad.
At least we can agree on the songs being good, but you're be careful if you're around any kids on a playground, because I'm seeing like children just organically out in the world, like wearing like K-pop Demon Hunter like merch.
Well,
so like props to Netflix and Sony for getting the merch out there for a property that I didn't think would explode as big as it did. But I just saw a girl like casually wearing like with the jacket of one of the characters like at the playground. And it's like, oh wow, this is just out there.
Like again, they've taken over Fortnite for at least a couple weeks in there. My wife's a teacher. All the kids in her 5th grade class know about it, so she's familiar with that. But like I said, we watched it and we were like, yeah, it's fine. But like, I think they're, again, like I said, they want you to care about these 3 characters, but they don't tell you anything about the 3 characters. They tell you, they don't show you. So I'm like, there's probably more to this, and when the next one eventually comes out, it'll probably be better than this one to me. But like, wasn't that strong of a first outing. But the songs are catchy. The songs are nice.
No, we didn't need you to seal the Han Moon anyway, Chris.
That's fine.
So see your way out.
Did you see? But then I had to show my wife the Saturday Night Live with Bad Bunny, where he is a K-pop Demon Hunters fan, and that's all he wants to talk about is K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see that sketch. I gotta go check it out.
Your mind's gonna be blown. It's absolutely hilarious because all Bad Bunny wants to talk about is K-pop Demon Hunters. So
I just saw his opening monologue, and I just keep saying Juan Hamon like in my brain like every 20 minutes because it was like the funniest joke I've seen in a while.
You should absolutely check that out as well. All right, back on topic. We're going to talk about the second spinoff for one of the most popular series ever, called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Game of Thrones spinoff. And it's based on these characters called Dunk and Egg, and it's 100 years before the Game of Thrones show. Know nothing about this, but it seems like it's a Knight's Tale rather than actual Game of Thrones. Like, there's no magic, there's no dragons, it just seems like a medieval story, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you probably maybe know more about Game of Thrones than me, but I know we're not like experts by any means. So I feel like I have questions to ask that, might fall on deaf ears. But I know House of the Dragon happens before the Game of Thrones show proper.
Way before this.
I'm kind of curious.
So dragons don't exist. Like, they're considered extinct by this show. But like, they still remember dragons being part of the world.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I think all I have to add beyond that is like, I fell off House of Dragons. I mean, I know it was like a good show. I was engaged watching it. I mean, Millie Alcock kind of like spun her career off of like that first season, and now she's like Supergirl. So the special effects are amazing. It looks very expensive, but when the second season dropped, like, I mean, like, the wife wasn't super interested in it anymore. I was just like, well, I'm not going to dedicate my own like 60, plus minutes per episode to this when I can carve it out. So I just do not imagine a scenario right now where I'm watching this, even though it could be good. I think I'm just off of Game of Thrones. Like, it's just not, I don't need it anymore.
The problem with this one is this one gives me like Andor vibes because like, like how study Star Wars, like you have Jedis and like magic people, right? And like this one has no dragons, no magic people. It's all about just being like a hedge knight, like in like for like the kings or whatever. Like, and I'm
Chris,
like,
this is
not too bad.
This is the second time you've mentioned Andor vibes in the episode. Is this? Should we make this a runner? Should we define Andor vibes so we can like put it in the superhero Slate dictionary?
Well, we know what those are. Where it's completely offset from everything there, but like we're on the fence until it comes out, and then it probably blows us away. Like, it's like one of those things.
That's
like,
the thing. When
surprise
I think
us.
Andor vibes, I think it like sleeper hit that wins an Emmy. But I guess you could also say Andor vibes of just like, oh, we're removing all of the fantastical away and just focusing on character.
Yeah, like it's actually like a character focusing that's like exists in the same world a little bit. So will I watch it? Probably not. I haven't watched House of Dragon. I don't give two shits about Game of Thrones, Mike. I'll be honest with you. But it is interesting enough to like, if this is removed enough, I'm like, it could be interesting if I want to get into a jousting vibe. Watch some jousting shows, if you will. So with a little bald kid who runs around. Let's talk about, you brought up Stranger Things earlier. We're gonna talk about Stranger Things. Season 5 episode lengths will range between 90 and 120 minutes per episode across, was it 8 episodes? I think we talked about. I think I sent you. I don't know if these are confirmed links. That's why I didn't put the image I sent Mike in here. But the theory is that these are like an hour and a half to up to 2 hours across 8 episodes. Like, so we're getting 8 full-length movies, folks. Not 8 episodes that are like an hour plus with credits. It's like these are going to be hugely long episodes. The kids might be 50 by this point. I don't know. But like they're going to be long.
This is like back in the day when that BBC series Sherlock like swept the United States, and we got to experience like 90-minute television episodes for the first time. We're like, oh my gosh, every episode's a movie. So we're gonna get that. But it
was great because those were only 3 episode seasons too.
The thing that drives me crazy about Stranger Things, which I feel like I want to put this out into the world, because we were talking about this in the car the other week with my wife, that Stranger Things has done so much for media, whether it's positive, negative, however else you want to talk about it. All of these kids have like grown up and have either gotten complicated or uncomplicated, but everyone talks about Stranger Things on the periphery, like everything else about it. Nobody ever talks about the quality and content in the show, which is really sad to me because I think the show is great. I still love it. I think it's amazing storytelling. I think the Duffer Brothers are knocking it out of the park. I'm thoroughly engrossed every time I sit down and like watch a new season, but like nobody, it's like everyone's like concentrated in the meta of the TV show. They want to talk about what's Millie Bobby Brown saying on Hot Ones, or what crazy thing does the actor that play Will said now about Israel or Palestine. It's just like, no, everybody shut up. Watch the show. It's good. It's a really good show. Just please watch the show, people. I like it a lot.
There's 2 flaws. Number one, I don't experience that, so I can't say anything. But number one, the flaw in your logic is they've taken 5 years to make another season, so they can't talk about they can't talk about the fucking show. They're like, there's no show to talk about. They're like, well, we ran out of show to talk about. What do we do now? But like, it is again a huge show. I still think I'm not the biggest fan of the show because at least the forced 80s-ness of it, and we've talked about that early on. It's like, because it's been around since we've done the show, I believe, the podcast.
Well, also, the curse of it being around for so long is they are responsible for reinvigorating like the nostalgia of the 80s, right? It's almost like how if Banksy goes out and makes like a new graffiti tag on the side of a building, people just call him a hack. Because he's just doing Banksy, but like he kind of made his art style. You can't call Banksy a hack for making a Banksy. So since Stranger Things has been around for so long, everyone's already mined it and mimicked it. They've stolen the score. They've stolen the nostalgia. Like board games have like come out that like kind of do like Kids on Bike, D&D and everything has come around and like is now a huge thing. So now it's almost like when you rewatch God forbid, the live action Ghost in a Shell, where you're just like, oh, all of this sci-fi stuff is like raw and boring now. It's like, well, because the Ghost in a Shell anime invented it in a way. So yeah, it's this whole like media literacy landscape thing.
It's also the problem is it's taken them 10 years to do the show when they're still doing the same 3 years within the universe. Like, number one, not just the actors growing up, but like you said, they did the 80s. The 80s were cool in 2014, 2015. But now we're in 2025. They should be in the 90s, like right, like that that it should travel. It should travel with it, and they're not. It's kind of stuck there, so it's not.
Well,
it's not a problem. But I'm excited to watch it.
In a vacuum, I think Stranger Things is still great. So I'm not excited about the release schedule of having to cram these down my throat during the holidays when I'm busy, like making Thanksgiving dinner. Like I'm busy brining a turkey and I got to go watch Stranger Things,
Better than 8 hour and a half, 2 hour long movies dropping on one day, though, for you to watch. So.
Yeah, I suppose.
There's a small win with that. Moving on, we talked about The Mummy last week, the remake. The new rumor this week is that Dwayne Johnson is rumored to return as a Scorpion King in a possible reboot. As you remember, The Mummy Returns featured Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the PS1 graphics Scorpion that we saw in there, which then was popular enough to get his own movie, The Scorpion King, which then had 5 other movies, 4 straight to streaming, DVD, VHS, whatever sequel. So this, like, if they did it, it would be the 6th one. But after Mr. Rock himself has had a struggle the past few years. The Smashing Machine made like $6 million when it came out last week. Not saying it's a bad movie. It's not money's not indicative of quality. It's just how it is. He was what else has he lost lately? He's done a lot of stuff that hasn't been good. Oh, Shazam! He got kicked out of DC with Shazam.
I mean, eventually he'll be back for the possible final Fast and Furious movie if they ever get around to making that.
Yeah, Red Notice 2. Red Notice was taken down a notch by K-pop Demon Hunters, even like on Netflix as the most watched movie. So he's doing the Jumanji threequel next year. So he needs something to win. I would not be surprised if he's talking about doing a Scorpion King reboot. Like this is believable enough right now that I'm like, yeah, he's probably considering what are his options. Like what does he own? Sequel wise, franchise wise, that he could go to and come out on top with that. Maybe we can get a Rundown sequel after 20 years. What do you think?
Yeah. Who was he opposite against?
Sean William Scott, wasn't it?
Hey, let's bring him back. I like Sean William Scott. He had a small bit in the final season of Righteous Gemstones. It was kind of nice to see him again.
He's also in the opening scene of Super Troopers 2, and they just got done filming Super Troopers 3 as well. So yeah, maybe he'll be back. Lastly, last trailer dropped this week is Bat Fam, the first full trailer for Bat Fam. It's not a spinoff, but I guess it's a series coming out of the Merry Little Batman movie from a couple of years ago that Amazon picked up. So they picked up the series, and it's like a bunch of people coming to live with Bruce Wayne, Damian Wayne, and Alfred. But they also show like, hey, they're gonna be having other villains to fight in there, like Clayface, Killer Croc, the Mad Hatter, and Livewire. Drops November 10th on Amazon. This looks like a fun little time, fun little take on Batman. It's not as serious. This is like the opposite of the Batman going on here, where it's darker and grittier, and this is just like we're having a good time where we know how to parody some of these dudes with a little Batman.
I mean, I don't know if this is a little bit of a sneak peek of us talking about Peacemaker Season 2, but it's refreshing seeing something coming out of the DC universe that just doesn't have Gunn's saliva all over it, Seeing it come from a different creator it's nice to see.
Yeah, and here's the thing I like about it, it's low stakes. Like, this is very low stakes. It's like we don't have to worry about, what are these characters doing, who are they connected to. They don't care in this animated show. They're just having a good time. Because I like the Merry Little Batman was a fun movie, and just like I said, this looks like it'll be a great time when it lands. Maybe its finale will not be the lowest rated episode of the series. Okay,
so I'm not going to spoil anything because Chris, you said it's going to be a while until you get around to watching Peacemaker Season 2. So I'm afraid I'm going to
You can't spoil it for me. I see the news. Okay, I collect our news every week. I see everything.
Well, I won't spoil anything specifically for people out there listening, but I feel like I'm going to forget all my hot takes by the time we get around to talking about it. But I am so at a split with the fans of this show because all of the hardcore fans said that they did not like the ending of Peacemaker Season 2. There's kind of like a point in the last episode where, there's like a nice, like peaceful, like, happy ending. And then some people are saying like, oh, there's kind of almost like a post-credits style of ending that happens where, we get like our cliffhanger that, lends us towards like another season of Peacemaker or even like whatever next DC project comes out. That is the most interesting thing that happens in the entire finale of the last episode. So when people say they don't like it or they hate it, I'm just like, it's the only thing that got me like on the edge of my seat in any way. Like my whole review of Peacemaker Season 2 of just like, what happened? Like what happened in a way of just like, I feel like nothing transpired in this whole season. Like some interesting ideas were brought in front of me. I feel like Gunn is really good at doing that. He's good at coming up with good ideas. But like there's a moment, okay, I have to telegraph this moment to you. It happens in the second to last episode, and I'll be as vague as I can, where Peacemaker and Hardcore need to get from point A to point B. Right. And there's so many different ways that you can do this. Right. And this is where like the creativity of screenwriting happens. Right. I need to move my characters from one location to another. Like what interesting ideas can we come up with? And I feel like Gunn comes up with the dumbest way to do it. That's like uninteresting. Like it's it's portrayed in a way that's supposed to make you nervous, but the audience is not stupid. There's no way in which we think that these characters are in turmoil or they can't get out of it. And it's so indicative of his writing style, where like he just wants to get to the stuff he wants to get to, and he just breezes past like logic sometimes to tell like a stupid joke, or tell some sort of like witty commentary.
I don't believe you. I don't know where you're coming from on this.
So and it was just like, it just gave me flashbacks to when we were talking about the first season of Peacemaker, where we were just like, somebody please pull the computer laptop away from Gunn. Stop having him write everything.
Yeah.
I think he has a great creative mind, and I think in a Feige-like position, he can be really effective. Yeah. But stop having him write the scripts.
Well,
I don't want him writing the scripts anymore.
Let him do the first pass. Let him do the first pass, but then let someone who actually writes TV take it over.
Yeah, or even let him do Punch Up. I'm fine with that, but like,
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let him do. Don't let him have final word. Do not do that. You just let him.
He's kind of getting in like Neil Blomkamp territory, where it's just like, you have lots of talent, but somebody needs to be hovering over you, going like, this is a bad idea. Like, this is stupid. Like,
I get what you're doing, but there are better ways to do it at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if you liked Peacemaker season 1, you are getting a consistent experience. So I would say, take that what you will. One bad takeaway from season 2 is when the creator of the TV show needs to go on Threads and explain the ending to people.
Yeah.
I see Gunn all over Threads trying to explain people like what is happening. I'm like, if you have to explain it to your fans, you did not put it on the screen where you were supposed to put it.
It's okay. This supposedly ties into Man of Tomorrow somehow. It will all be explained away in 2 years, whenever the next movie comes out. Not next movie, like 4 movies. But
Chris, I'm happy to talk about this more.
Do you think it'll get a season 3?
Spoiler filled.
That's my question. Do you think it'll get a season 3?
I think Gunn is so obsessed with John Cena as Peacemaker. He will make as many seasons as he can.
He likes watching his wife kiss him. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. Like, if you know a little bit too much about the creation of the show, you just keep thinking Gunn is behind that camera right now, watching this mountain of a man pick up his wife and ride down into the sunset on a motorcycle.
I don't think he was directing it, but he at least wrote it that way. He knew what he was writing. But anyway, I don't know if it'll get a season 3. I think he might go a different direction. He seems, when he gets bored with something, and I think my vibe is he got bored with this show, he's gonna go do something else. But we'll see if Paramount ends up buying Warner Brothers. We don't know. Maybe they'll boot him to the curb.
Maybe. Well, thank you for indulging me, Chris, with these extremely vague reviews of Peacemaker season 2.
That's fine. It just sounds like I feel a little vindicated that you're not like, overly in love with it. So I feel a little more like, yeah, it's fine. I felt that way. Mike, if people want to know what you're doing, what you're up to, where can they find you, buddy?
Oh, they can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com or liferewardsrisk.com. Chris, people want to catch up with you. Where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or video game systems of the same name. If people don't know about the show, where they can see all these links while some of them are still live, see all the show notes, upcoming release schedule, which I need to update with all these new dates, where can they get all them goodies?
Yeah, so easy. Superheroslate.com. We own it. We have that domain unlocked. I renew it every year, which really, in hindsight, I could have saved some money if I just bought it for like 10 years, back when we registered it. Could have saved me a little bit of cash, but, here we are. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, wherever else you love listening to podcasts. We got merch, superheroslate.com/store. We love hearing from you. Reach out. What did you think of Peacemaker Season 2? Do you think Chris should skip it? Should he watch it so we can talk about it more on the show? Let us know.
It's gonna cost money. You're gonna have to pay me, but it's fine.
We love our super fans. So if you want to be a super fan of the show, all you have to do is share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we will be here every week, folks.
That's right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.